The demonic doll. The small town of Rosewood was never very lively. Except for the doll shop on Main Street. The shop was a peculiar place, with dark stone walls and an old wooden door that creaked when it opened. It didn't matter if it was day or night, the lights in the store were always on. The interior was tight and dark, but the porcelain dolls that filled the shelves were beautiful and meticulously crafted. However, there was one particular doll that caught everyone's attention, a porcelain doll with bright red eyes and a creepy smile. People said the doll had been made by an evil craftsman who had cursed it. Anyone who touched the doll would be haunted by an evil spirit. But despite the warnings, people still tried to touch it. They were drawn to the doll's intense gaze and the challenging smile that seemed to challenge the courage of anyone who touched it. Among the people who frequented the shop, there was a young girl named Emily. She was a pretty girl with blonde hair and light eyes, and she had always been interested in porcelain dolls. Emily always passed the doll shop on her way to school and used to stop to admire them. She already had a small collection at home, but she had never seen a doll as impressive as the one in the store window. One day, Emily decided she needed to have it. She didn't believe in curses or evil spirits, and she was determined to prove that all the rumors were false. Emily walked into the store and went straight to the porcelain doll. She reached out to touch the doll, but hesitated for a moment. She looked at the doll and noticed something strange in its eyes. They seemed brighter than before, and the sinister expression seemed even more intense. Emily shook her head, trying to dispel her irrational fears. She touched the doll and immediately felt a chill run down her spine. She backed away from the doll and quickly left the store. Emily couldn't explain what she felt, but she realized that something was wrong. From that moment on, strange things began to happen to her. Emily began having nightmares about the doll. She woke up in the middle of the night, sweating and panting. She also began hearing strange sounds in her house, sinister laughter that didn't seem to come from just one particular place. Emily became increasingly scared, but refused to admit that the doll could be the cause of her problems. Then one night, Emily woke up in the middle of the night and saw the porcelain doll sitting on the edge of her bed. Emily screamed in terror and tried to move away from the doll, but something seemed to prevent her from moving. The doll, with its bright red eyes and creepy smile, began to move slowly towards Emily. Emily was stuck in bed, unable to do anything but watch the doll approach. She tried to scream, but her voice seemed to be trapped in her throat. The doll finally reached the side of the bed and began whispering incomprehensible words to Emily. Suddenly, the doll grabbed Emily's arm and pulled her out of bed. Emily tried to struggle, but it was as if the doll had supernatural strength. The doll began dragging her across the floor, towards the door of the room. Emily tried to scream for help, but it seemed that no one could hear her screams. She finally managed to break free from the doll and ran out of the room, towards the front door. She looked back and saw the doll standing in the hallway, looking at her with its bright red eyes. So she ran to her parents' room, shouting and asking for help. When her parents came out into the hallway, there was nothing there. Emily asked them to search her room, but they didn't find anything wrong either. She heard from her parents that it was all just a nightmare, that she should calm down and go back to sleep. But she was sure that what had happened was not just a bad dream. Emily spent days trying to forget what had happened that terrible night, but the image of the demonic doll with its bright red eyes and terrifying smile haunted her dreams every night. She refused to let the doll terrorize her life forever, so she began to research and study evil spirits and how to combat them. After many weeks of research and preparation, Emily returned to the doll store, determined to confront the demonic doll. She walked into the store and approached the doll, which seemed to have come back to life. Emily closed her eyes and began reciting a prayer she had found in an ancient book. Suddenly, the doll began to shake and emit a frightening sound. Emily opened her eyes and saw that the bright red eyes of the doll had gone out. The doll fell to the ground, inert. Emily knew she had to act quickly before the evil spirit of the doll found a new host. She took the doll and brought it to a sacred place, where she performed a ritual to seal the evil spirit. After the ritual, Emily took a hammer from her backpack, which she had found in an antique store and was supposed to be sacred, and did not hesitate to strike the doll several times, smashing it to pieces. Emily left a note to the store owner, making the excuse that she had accidentally bumped into the doll and broken it. Along with the note, she left a sum of money to cover the damage. When it was all over, Emily knew she had triumphed over the demonic doll. She left the doll store, knowing she had faced and defeated an evil that many never even imagine exists. Emily never had nightmares about the doll again and continued her life, becoming an expert in combating evil spirits. The doll store closed shortly thereafter, and the cursed doll and its legends were forgotten by time.